One of the things I really don't like about WWE is when they set out to rewrite history according to how they want to rewrite it, and in particular, set in motion certain narratives and pound them down your throats for years. You saw that with The Ultimate Warrior. You've seen that in many other cases for sure. And one area where I think the WWE for years has advanced a narrative that has been very wrong and done somebody a great injustice is when it comes to Chyna. Look, understand why the certain narrative has been set about Chyna. More on that in a moment or two. However, what can't be denied is that beyond question, one of the biggest stars of the Attitude Era was Chyna. One of the most influential women and most important women in the history of the professional wrestling sports entertainment business was Chyna. There is no question that she became a huge mega star and had a tremendous impact on the product, especially at a time where the WWF at the time really needed somebody to make an impact. We can always talk about Austin, and we can talk about The Rock, and we can talk about groups like D-Generation X. But what is so often left out is the impact, the significance, and importance of Chyna and what she brought to the table. I don't care what anybody tries to say. I don't care how anybody tries to spin the narrative. That to me is a simple fact. She was a huge deal. She was a big star and a big-time game changer for a company that was very desperately in need of game changers come 1997 and 1998. So as I listened to the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast on the WWE Network this week where he had Triple H on the show, this subject came up towards the end. And Triple H sat there and gave his reasons about why Chyna ultimately hasn't found her way into the WWE Hall of Fame, basically saying that his 8-year-old daughter might not know who Chyna is, so if she went online and looked for Chyna, we know what she's going to see, and we don't want to be associated with that. Well, I've heard many, many stupid things said by many, many smart people over the years, and I assure you, this definitely fits into that category of, at least if nothing else, something incredibly stupid being said. So let me get this straight, Triple H. You don't want your daughter to go online and search Chyna, who she might not be familiar with at 8 years old, and find a bunch of stuff pertaining to porn. But it's okay, let's say, if an Abdullah the Butcher, the walking hepatitis C bomb, is in your WWE Hall of Fame, right? Or Carlos Colon, who many feel at the worst helped cover up what happened with Bruiser Brody's murder, if not being an integral part of what actually happened. It's okay if he's in the WWE Hall of Fame, right? Because we have to try and sell the WWE Network in Puerto Rico. It's okay if Donald Trump is in the WWE Hall of Fame, right? A man who said some ridiculously controversial things over the years, a man who has filed bankruptcy multiple times, a man who is a known philanderer. It's okay if he's in the WWE Hall of Fame, right? You know, my all-time favorite, Hulk Hogan, a known and admitted steroid user and drug user. It's okay if he's in the WWE Hall of Fame, right? Jake the Snake Roberts, for years a known and admitted and acknowledged drug user. It's okay if your daughter looks him up and finds out that information about him for the WWE Hall of Fame, right? It's okay that he was on Beyond the Mat where you saw what depths he had sunk to. It's okay if your daughter sees that, right? It's okay that Superfly Jimmy Snuka, who may very well have killed his girlfriend a little over 30 years ago, is in the WWE Hall of Fame, right? It's okay that Mike Tyson, who the WWE loves so much and loves to praise for what he brought to the table on that road to WrestleMania 14 and how critically important he was in the Monday Night Wars and in the Attitude Era for WrestleMania 14. It's okay if your 8-year-old daughter doesn't know much about Mike Tyson and goes up and searches him on the internet, and we've got him talking about wanting to kill people's families and chewing off Evander Holyfield's ear. And oh, by the way, being a freaking convicted rapist that served almost 5 years in prison for that crime. But Chyna being in porn is a bad thing, right? Oh, look at Pat Patterson, somebody known to have taken liberties with certain talents over the years and helping, if nothing else, to cover up what other WWE employees did with underage male ring workers over 20 years ago. It's okay if he's in the WWE Hall of Fame, right? You look at Razor Ramon, God bless him, Scott Hall, known and admitted drug user and addict for many years. It's okay if he's in the WWE Hall of Fame, right? Stone Cold Steve Austin, the favorite of so many of you, one of the biggest stars in the history of the business. We bend over backwards to praise this guy, but it's okay if your 8-year-old daughter goes up Triple H and looks him up on the internet and sees all the instances of him beating his wife, right? Getting arrested for domestic abuse, right? Because that's the type of message you want to send. And let's even look at one of the members of this year's Hall of Fame class, Arnold Schwarzenegger, the governor of California, a known and admitted steroid user who also happens to be a philanderer as well. It's okay if your daughter looks him up on the internet and he's in your WWE Hall of Fame, right? And let's even talk about what's even more ridiculous and stupid about what Triple H himself said. He doesn't want his 8-year-old daughter to go up on the internet and see that stuff about Chyna. The same Triple H who was part of a group in D-Generation X that, among other things, used to come out there with shit spray painted on their naked ass cheeks. You just sit there and make all types of jokes about genitalia. One of their signature things was the fucking crotch chop. Another one was, let's get ready to suck it! And the same Triple H that once engaged in activities simulating his penile proboscis going inside of a dead Katie Vick. The man wore a cane mask, got into his skimpies, and sat there and pretended to simulate sexual acts on a mannequin in a freaking coffin. But he's obviously God. He's going to go into the WWE Hall of Fame, right? For at least 666 reasons. But it's okay if your daughter sees that too, right? Of all the ridiculous and stupid things that I've heard, that was one of the stupidest. Because if we want to play that game, we could really play that game. But let's get to the heart of the matter. The real reason Chyna isn't in the WWE Hall of Fame is because of Stephanie McMahon, period. And for Triple H to sit there and assert that anything other than that is clearly the case is completely and totally stupid. Everybody knows it. Everybody understands it. Anybody with a freaking brain can get it. Anybody with eyes can freaking see it. We all know this to be the case. And at this point in time, it's been almost 15 years now. Get over it. This is clearly a matter of where Stephanie is the single biggest impetus to Chyna getting into the WWE Hall of Fame, in part because Triple H doesn't want to cut off the McMahon pussy supply so that way he could crank out another fucking daughter. Now, the fact of the matter is, this is an instance where Triple H needs to check his woman and tell her, bitch, listen. Never mind the fact that you stole me from Chyna. Never mind the fact that we've been married for over a decade. Never mind the fact that you've had my 3 kids. Never mind the fact she's dated X-Pac and done other shit. It's time to move fucking on. It's time to stop being so petty. It's time to stop being so stupid. Always pretending to be that it's what's best for business. Well, how could having Chyna be in the WWE Hall of Fame be bad for business? You put Sunny in there, a known and confessed whore, in the WWE Hall of Fame. Why the fuck can't you put Chyna in there? And all these other people. So it's okay if a rapist goes in there. It's okay if steroid users and drug abusers and potentially hepatitis C spreaders and freaking murder conspirators, if not flat out murderers, are in your WWE Hall of Fame. But having somebody that took the back door to Chyna, we can't have her in there, right? Come on, Triple H. That's just stupid. If you're supposed to be so much about the fans and you're supposed to be so much about the business, then this is one of these instances where you need to check your bitch. Plain and simple. Because that's the only reason Chyna isn't welcome back to the WWE, and that's the only reason that Chyna isn't in the WWE Hall of Fame. Hell, freaking Hogan, my all-time favorite. He had a freaking sex tape, and you're welcoming him back. You're putting him in the opening segment of WrestleMania 30, and he's going to be inducting Savage into the Hall of Fame at WrestleMania 31 weekend. Holy shitballs! How stupid and ridiculous this is! The same guy that used to do the crotch chop and say, let's get ready to suck it! And simulated a sex act with a mannequin wearing a cane mask he was, using his penile proboscis in a freaking coffin for the sake of entertainment, is now saying that he doesn't want his 8-year-old daughter to see this type of crap. Oh, get the fuck out of here. The only reason Chyna isn't in the Hall of Fame is because of Stephanie McMahon. And Stephanie, get over it, bitch! You won! You stole the dude from Chyna! You got the dude from Chyna. You married the dude away from Chyna. You had the kids with Triple H. Stop being so petty about it. You were the homewrecker, not Chyna. Put your vag problems to the freaking side and plug your nose for one weekend and show that you can be a mature adult and get over it. Chyna not being in the WWE Hall of Fame is flat out plain stupid. And I resent this narrative, this anti-Chyna narrative that has been advanced and put in place by the WWE in an attempt to kind of deflect away. We all know the truth. So stop thinking we're stupid. Because at least hopefully most of the people that are watching this video aren't stupid and they can see what's really going on. It's that Stephanie's being a petty bitch almost 15 years later and that Triple H can't check his bitch. Period.